we have a site map, and we can see some quite unusual things on here, even though there's nothing here now. At one time this was a medieval village, which we're going to look at the remains of it now. So this is the main place we need to look for, and this cartway, which is quite obvious when you get in there. And later on they added the ice house, which is the hall, which is actually would be up here on the map. We're going to go right round around here, look at what's left, and see how we go. So this is Bouskell Park, as was, and you see this mound here, which is right in front of us, where this tree is. This is where the medieval manor house actually was. So all that you can actually see now is the earthworks of where it stood. But in the spirit of 5 Mile history, we've been bringing the dog here for years, and I never bothered looking at that sign, which is just incredible really when you think about it. So we go down here and see loads of dog walkers. So this is the site of the original manor house, and then over here is the pond and the ice house, which is added a lot later. So again here you can see the earthworks as it lifts up. So this sort of little gradient here, which goes all the way around and sort of rises above, is exactly where the medieval house was. You can see there's various earthworks here. I'm hoping they'll come out on the camera, where basically the roads and everything else were, down towards the new manor house, which is down this way. So you see that dip in the ground there is basically a road that took them into the centre of the village. So this is so if this ground could talk, we would find out no end. You can see here the raised bit where the mansion was here, and then the village was over this side, which we'll get to in a moment. You can see the dip in where this person's walking now, and this led straight to the church, which you can see in the distance there. So this was a roadway basically past the village here and down, and then the road came down here into this raised area, which is the manor house. So there we go, what a great little place. I just thought it was a wonky park, but there it turns out it's full of history again. We'll wait till we get around the other side. So this is basically stood in the roadway, which we looked at before, which is here. So this is the roadway here, which leads to the church. And then if we look, that's the risen area, which is exactly where the mansion stood. So this is right here, along here. So that was a medieval house or grand house. And then the village, you can see this roadway here as we fall down into it. So we're basically from this tree stump onwards. This is the roadway leading down here. So the medieval village would have stood here, here, right in front of the house. And you can clearly see this roadway now, which is there. So there is a medieval village, long gone, but you can still clearly see the earthworks, which is fantastic. And I didn't really know that existed. So there we go, another one for the history books. So what we've basically got here, if we look over here, in the Victorian days, they built a new hall, which this is the stable block to the original hall. That's all that's left of it. And this lovely bit of brickwork down here, which I don't know what that is, but this is the new Blaby Hall, which apparently, which you can't see very well, which apparently the rafters are the original, part of the original hall, which he built the rafters in the roof. But this stonework down here looks original, which is really nice. So the original Blaby Hall was over here, and the ice house, which we're going to now, is still in existence over here in the woods. So we'll go then. So continuing the journey, Blaby Hall, the Victorian Hall would have been over here. The path led straight down here to the ice house, which is still in existence. We can't get in it, unfortunately. It's barricaded up like you wouldn't believe. At least it's still here, that's the main thing. So we've got an ice house, and directly behind it over here is a man-made lake, which is where the water used to freeze in winter. They bring the ice round in here, and that'd stay there all year. And then they keep their food, etc. in there, nice and cold. Fantastic idea, really, and brilliant that it's still there. Just a shame we can't get any closer. Like all these things, you used to be able to walk around it, and now they put this on it. I mean, I'm not being funny, like that'd stop anybody, but there we go. And over here we find the lake. The lake's directly behind the ice house, which is there. And they used to take the blocks of ice straight in there, keep them all year round. Incredible. So I have the hall over there, which is just inside this hedge, which takes you directly into the church as well. There's the ice house, and then basically this walkway was a man-made walkway where they used to go hunting and various other different things all over this area. So you see all the trees are all, it's just a man-made walkway basically, right the way around. You can go that way back into the park itself. But it looks natural, but it really isn't. So we go this way a bit, we can see it. So this tree line is basically all fake. Well, not fake, obviously, that's the wrong word. So this tree line is all man-made, all the way around, so they could walk through an evening and go hunting, because a lot of these trees aren't natural for this area, whatever the correct word is. There we go. That's the back of Bouskell or Bouskell Park. There's a better view of the man-made lake. There we go. Now you can see it. So the ice house is directly behind this tree here, just down there. So we'd have got the ice out of here, stored in the ice house, job done. Now they're home to many, many ducks who think I'm going to feed them. So here we have just the last bit of Bouskell or Bouskell Park. You see the tree line there, which is where we've just come from. And this is just continue. It used to go straight through here and round apparently. But this just gives you some idea that it isn't natural. So this walkway was sort of built, or planted rather, to make it look like this, and then give them some lovely walks through the pretend woods. And then we can see from here, again you see the medieval workings here, the ground workings, which are just brilliant. And then in the background you'll see the new Blaby Hall in the links. I'll try and find the picture. There's a picture of roughly a mock-up of how this looked as well, which I'll put in the video as well. And then in the background we can see the church. So if you think of it from Victorian days and Edwardian days, they'd have the church, the hall, their park, their grounds, their ice house, which is over here, and then that's basically how they lived, which I did get the name of the family, which I'll put on the link as well. So I can't remember everything, but really beautiful little place. Like I say, been here loads of times, and it just shows 5 mile history. I was onto something because I'm finding so much stuff that I really knew nothing about, and mainly because I wasn't looking. So that's Bouskell Park, or Bouskell Park, I'm not sure how you say it. in Blaby, which is 1.5 miles away from home, so well within my 5-mile history. And as I say, I've been coming to this wonderful place for years. We walk the dog regularly here, and I never knew that about it because I never bothered reading the signs, which are all over the place. What a wonderful little place, great bit of history, and just great to walk around it and find some more out. So onwards and upwards. See you next time. Which is where they used to